Student, welcome to my whiteboard program. So today we'll learn class 9 science NCERT chapter 14 natural resources part 2. So in part 2 we have to see the main points here: water and soil. Today's main topic is water and soil, which are natural resources. Last class I have given you what is natural resources and what are natural resources and what are the division of it. Today we will discuss some natural resources like the renewable resource. So here some renewable resource we will discuss: water and soil. Let us come to water. So water, what is water? It is a renewable source, but it is called the elixir of life. What do we mean by elixir of life? Elixir of life means liquid medicine, because without water no living organism can sustain its life. So to survive, a sure medicine is required, that is called the liquid medicine, that is called the water for all the living organisms. So that's why water is known as the elixir of life. Then we'll talk what are some importance of the water. That is 71 to 75% of the earth surface is covered with water, what we call hydrosphere. So our hydrosphere is 70 to 75% of the earth's surface, it is covered by the water, but 97% is salty. So if we'll say water is sufficient in our earth, then why we are shouting, why we are crying for the conservation of water, for the scarcity of water? Because though our earth surface 75% is occupied with water, but you see 97% is salty water which cannot be used for the living organism. So only 3% is fresh water, and that 3% of fresh water is not also potable, which is polluted, which are not cannot be used. So that's why though our earth sufficient water is there, but still then we are having scare of water, because of fresh water is only 3%, and that is also some part is polluted water. So let us again, depending upon some criteria, we classify water into two categories: soft water and hard water. What is called soft water? Let us see. Soft water readily forms lather with soap. Rainwater and spring water readily form the lather with soap means what? That is when we take some water in a bucket and put some soap or detergent and just rinse it. If we get the foam, if we get the lather, what we called jhak is formed, then it is called the soft water. If the lather are not formed, then that is called the hard water. So hard water not forms lather due to presence of bicarbonate, chlorides of and sulfates of calcium and magnesium salt. Calcium magnesium salt, the compound known as the calcium bicarbonate or magnesium bicarbonate, calcium chloride or magnesium chloride, calcium sulfate or magnesium sulfate. If these salts are found in the water in the dissolved form, then we call that water is known as the hard water. And in this water we cannot clean our cloth, because the scum is formed with the soap and tea. So this is called the hard water. Now let us come to the another word is known as the potable water. Potable water means what? Which is drinking water. So which is edible water, that is called the potable water. The water we are drinking in our home after filtering it is known as the potable water or drinking water. Then will come to what are the importance of water. Why we are talking about the water in class 9? Because I have already told, water is elixir of life. It is the lifeline of the life. It is the most important requirement for the life. Without water we cannot sustain. So there are so many importance are there. If we discuss, it will take a lot of time. So certainly we can say it regulates body temperature. Every day we are taking bath. And why? Because to normalize our body temperature. So when we take the bath, excess temperature are washed out with the water. it regulates the body temperature, it help in the transportation, because when we are drinking the water mixing with the blood and blood is getting dilute, which is carrying all the materials from one part to another part of our body. In plant, water and mineral from the root move to the leaf, and from the leaf it move to the different parts of the body. So this is called the transportation. So without water, this transportation system cannot be done. Then help in excretion and wastages. Though our body maximum time are producing wastages because of the metabolic activity, not only our body, all the animal and all the plants. So all these wastages are also excreted by the help of water. That's why doctor advises us to drink sufficient water to remove all the unwanted material from our body. Then cooking, drinking, cleaning and agriculture purpose, water is very essential. These are the importance of the water. Next we will come to the weathering. One word will come that is also connected to the water as well as connected to the soil formation. So anyway, just to let us to discuss what is called weathering. Weathering is a process by which soil is formed in nature. So how the soil is formed? Soil is a mixture of a number of materials like sand, clay, humus, water vapor, microorganism. All things are present in the soil, and that is formed by the process known as the weathering. And in this process, what happens? I have given the short way, that is because of the sunshine, mountain is heated, the stone in the mountain is heated. Then suddenly, due to the rain or due to the cool climate during the night time, the uneven expansion and contraction of the rock in the mountain cause the cracking. So by the cracking, the mountain is cracked into big rocks, and these rocks are rolled down from the mountain and broken into small pieces, and these small pieces are taken by the water, by flowing water, and because of flowing water the rocks are grinded with each other and converted into fine powder like sand, and this sand by the way mix with the decomposing part of the plant and animal known as the humus, and sand humus combiningly make the soil. So this, in this way the soil is formed, which is known as the weathering purpose, weathering process. Now we'll come all about the water. Now will come how water is polluted, because we are now facing a lot of problem for our water. So everywhere you will see, in Dimapur also it is very scarcity of water. People are rushing to the Gurudwara water supply. There you will see maximum time the rushing is there. People from lot of distance they are coming to carry the water. Why? Because shortage of water. Dimapur it is very shortage of water, because the whatever water is available, that is also polluted. We cannot use it. The water present in river Dhansiri, it is over polluted. No one can use this water because of the over pollution. So let us see why water is polluted. What are the sources by which water is polluted? Here it is given. The addition of undesirable substances which degrade the quality of water and cannot be used for drinking purpose or cooking or using purpose. So that is called the water pollution. So water pollution is caused because of a lot of human activities. There are some given sources of water pollution. From where water is polluted? So water is polluted from different sources like what? Like drainage from our towns, from our municipality. They are direct open to the water bodies, and all these drainage water contain a lot of microbes and mix in the main source of water, and our water is polluted. So that carries the microbes, etc. Industrial sources, industry which are set near the bank of the river or near about the river sources, so they drain their hot water into the river body, and some chemical garbages, some chemical sewage into the water body, which pollute maximum to the water body, that is hot water. Toxic substances are added to the water body from the industry. You could have seen now due to the lockdown, coronavirus, COVID-19, so it has been seen that maximum water body, for example, our the river Ganga, so its water quality has gone, water quality has been improved because of the lockdown. Maximum industry near the bank of river Ganga is closed now, and they are not draining their these wastages into river Ganga, and river Ganga automatically it is now free from pollution, which we are trying since 70-80 years before, could not be success, but due to lockdown few days it is now clear because of the industry. So then shipping sources, because our transportation is the major shipping is done through the water bodies, that is a transportation, major transportation of the import material and export material through the water bodies. So during the shipping, so maximum oil, petroleum, raw petroleum, they are leaked into the water bodies, and while the oil spill over the water body, which cause a lot of problem for the aquatic organism. Then agricultural resources. So generally near about the water body, our agriculture sector, our agricultural farm lands are made, and when we apply maximum fertilizer and pesticide to the agricultural land, they are washed due to the rainwater and get mixed into the river bodies or water bodies, which pollute the water bodies, causing algal growth, eutrophication. So many problems are caused in the water body and causing the harm to the aquatic organism. So all these are known as the sources of the water pollution. That's why our water is polluted. Then control. How can we control all these? When we can understand what are the sources, what are the activities by which our water is polluted, we have to boycott all these regions. When we will boycott all this activity, all these regions, then our water pollution can be controlled. So for example, we should not drain drain water from municipality or town direct into the water body. We should not drain the sewage and hot water from the direct industry into the water body. All this should be checked before to be drained. It should be treated properly. So all this we can take how to control. Next we will come to the soil, which is another type of renewable sources. Soil is very important for the existence of life also. Without soil, plant cannot grow. Without soil, we cannot get food. We cannot get mineral. So soil is also one type of basic natural resources for the living organism. So let us see how soil is formed. What is the soil? Soil is a mixture of so many elements, so many compounds. Altogether, it is a wholesale mixture of the various things like soil, sand, humus, like water vapor, water content, microorganism. So many things are mixed there, mineral, salt, so many things are there in the soil. And how soil is formed, I have told during the explanation of weathering. By the process of weathering, soil is prepared or soil is formed. Now we will come to the soil importance, because soil importance I have told you, the plant grow, the vegetation can be done, the cropping can be done, agriculture can be done in the only in the quality soil, and we get the mineral, metal, so many from the earth crust, that is called the soil also. So this is soil is very important for the living organism. Now let us see soil pollution. So how is our soil polluted? Why we cannot grow good cropping in a particular soil? Why everywhere nowadays we are getting the pollution even in the soil? Let us see the sources. Excess use of chemical and fertilizer and pesticide. For the fulfilling the demand of food for the extremely exploded population, we are growing more and more food products by giving more and more fertilizer, chemical, pesticides, and that will make the more product. But in the return, it pollutes the soil. It makes the soil addict. Without this fertilizer once applied, the soil cannot give the good product, because the soil becomes addicted with the what we call, that is the fertilizer and pesticides. So that they cause the pollution, because the fertilizer and pesticide, they contain the non-biodegradable chemical up to some extent. When they are mixed in the soil, they cause the pollution. And the chemical used also kill the microorganism like bacteria, cyanobacteria, rhizobium, like earthworm, some other insect who are the partner of natural fertilizing power of the soil. The natural fertilizing power of the soil is lost because of the that is excess use of chemical and fertilizer and pesticide. Then overgrazing also one important. Due to the overgrazing by the cattle, the grasses are lost, and due to heavy rain and heavy wind, the upper layer of the soil are washed away. That upper layer is the main important part of the soil. So that contains the humus, that contains the nutrient for the plant. When they are washed away, that soil becomes bare, and that soil is polluted soil. Now, deforestation. Similarly, because of the heavy demand of the plant and plant, that is a wooden product, so we are deforesting the land for the expansion of the industry, for the expansion of the city, town, road, park. We are just cutting huge amount of plants. So all these are known as the deforestation. Due to deforestation, soil becomes barren, and the heavy rain, heavy wind also cause the loss of the fertility. And humus cannot be, the soil cannot get the humus, because when there will be no plant, no leaves, no plant product get mixed into the soil, and no animals are there who die or give their dung to mix in the soil, and cannot get the humus. So in this way also the land becomes polluted. Then mining operation, because of coal mining, because of the metal mining, because of the natural gas mining, because of the petroleum mining, different vast area are dug out, and due to this dug out, the upper layer of the soil is lost, and we get the soil pollution. Then dumping of non-biodegradable substance, shifting cultivation. Dumping of non-biodegradable substance means what? Whenever we are taking from here and there biodegradable, non-biodegradable wastages, we are throwing here and there without proper disposal. So that causes the pollution in that soil. Even biodegradable wastages, when they decompose, they also pollute the soil. So that's why we should dispose the wastages in proper way, so that our soil should not be polluted. Then shifting cultivation. This is the major problem in the hilly area, terrace area. The hilly people, they cut the plants for their vegetation. So once that area cultivated, after few cultivation, then the fertility power of the soil is lost, and they move to the another part by cutting the vast area of the forest for their agriculture. In this way, time to time, vast area of forest area is cleaned by the shifting cultivation, which is called also zoom practice. Then will come, this is called our soil pollution. So soil pollution we can prevent also by controlling all these activities. We should not deforest, rather we have to go for planting. We should not throw the garbage here and there, rather we have to dispose the garbage properly. We should not use more and more fertilizer and pesticides, rather we have to use the that is what is called manures, compost, that is biomanure, biocompost, etc. So all these things we have to follow to check the soil pollution. Finally, we will come to biogeochemical cycle. What is biogeochemical cycle? One new term you have to learn, that is biogeochemical cycle. Bio means life, geo means earth, chemical means the substance, and cycle means cycling process. So in this process what happens, whatever the chemicals or substance essential for the living organism are moving in our earth in cyclic manner. First it is coming from the soil, going to the plant, plant to animal, animal to soil, soil to plant. So cyclic way the chemicals or substance are passing. So there I have given flow of life supporting material from the non-living to living and coming back to non-living in a more or less cyclic path is called biogeochemical cycle. More or less cyclic path. So it will, from where it was available, then it goes somewhere in the different form, and from somewhere again finally it return back to the our earth surface. So in this way the main material which are essential for the living organism are cycled. Otherwise though, after a lot of billion years after, there would not be the available of the nutrient in the soil. But again, as it is recycling, we are getting back our nutrient from the various source into again finally soil, and from soil again they are utilized. In this way biogeochemical cycle helps to maintain the fertility power of the soil. Then what? So there are so many cycles are operating in our biosphere or in our environment, so which help to maintaining the soil fertility, to maintaining the nutrient in the soil are water cycle. So rain happens. So this rain coming from the how? Because the water from the surface and underground are coming into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. They move to the higher altitude and lose their temperature, cool down, becomes condensed and make the cloud. And this cloud, when again condensed super cold, they are form the water droplet, and because of the earth gravitational force, they are pulled down to the earth in the form of rain. So it is happens cyclically. Nitrogen cycle also very complex cycle by which nitrogen percentage is maintained in our earth, that is coming that nitrogen cycle. Then carbon cycle. Carbon cycle, carbon is available in different form, in gaseous form, in the compound form, in the solid form, in different way. So that percentage is also maintained in our atmosphere, in our earth also because of the cycle. Then oxygen cycle. Oxygen which we are getting, which is the lifeline of the living organism, and this oxygen, if it will not be available, no living organism can sustain. Generally when we are taking the oxygen, and this oxygen giving us energy. Plant also take the oxygen for the by the breathing process and get the energy. All these living organisms, they take the oxygen gas for living purpose. They sustain their life. So all these are known as the biogeochemical cycle operating in our atmosphere or in our environment, which help to provide the different material time to time to us. So all this about today's class. So this is about, so next class we have to go, let us see, and any other part of this part, if it is there, then we will go, otherwise we will go to the next chapter. So till that, thank you very much.